Good morning, this is Jim, and welcome to Sawlogs Plastic Hubs. It's my pleasure to have you as a visitor in my shop. I've gotten so used to working with you guys looking over my shoulder, it's strange when I do something without you. And there's times I do. So today's project is these little axle pullers. I've got a pair of them. The reason I made a pair is for each side of the car. So in case you're not familiar, we race a car. We have to run a automotive differential, even though it's a full floating one. But to change the gear ratio, we have to change what the center section, or racers term the pumpkin. You've probably seen some of my spare pumpkins laying around on my on some of my slop videos. So I decided to make a pair of them. I've already made one a while back, and it's somewhere between mine and Truett Race Car Shop. I don't know where. So I made a pair, so you put them in each axle and you can pull them, and then when you get ready to put them in, you don't have to carry it from one side of the car to the other. Since I can make these, it's fairly simple. And another note on the machining of this, and I may have mentioned it in the video, I usually try to make a tool like this using a bolt or threaded rod for real good reasons. Not that I don't want a single point, but if you damage this, we can heat this up, break the Loctite bond, and screw a new bolt in it. Cut it off. Fairly inexpensive. And it makes the tools easier to maintain, because anything you got, you're going to potential of dropping it on the concrete and dinging the threads or whatever. Hey, we can just pull these right out and make them. With all that being said, hey, sit back with me, peek over my shoulder, bring your kids, your children, well, I already said children, friends, neighbors, pets, pop the popcorn, drink the coffee, get the glass of tea or soft drink or adult beverage, and we'll just hang out in the shop together and have a good time. So let's get the cracking slinging some chips. Okay, today I'm going to make a couple of handles to pull axles. We'll cut bolts off and stuff. And I made these before in video. Normally I'll make handles out of aluminum, but I'm looking at what my materials I've got. And so today I'm just looking, and I decided to make this handle out of steel. This really doesn't matter. And the main reason is I just got a lot more little steel pieces laying around. This piece that's in the lathe has already been turned a little bit for another project down. And I just sit outside, so I just knocked the rust off. We're going to run a knurl down it here this morning. You notice we're running a lot slower than you normally see me do, because you've always seen me do aluminum. So what we're going to do here first thing, we're going to start out by knurling this thing with the steel. We'll probably take this in 2 passes because it's steel, and we're going to knurl it. I don't know if this will be enough to make the 2 handles. I might just knurl enough to make 1 handle and then pull the stock out, clean it up, make the second one off camera, or make the second one. You know, this isn't going to be a grand complicated thing. I just want it to be a certain length sort of to hold fingers on. Alright. Okay. And now, you know, and anytime, I just prefer to use this scissor tool. Does a great job knurling. It just always has done a great job knurling. And on steel, it's a little different than aluminum, obviously. You want to go slower. But any type of squeeze knurler on these smaller lathes is just a great thing. I do, and I haven't knurled no steel here lately much on the channel. Most of these handles and stuff I make, I do usually just use aluminum out of convenience, or plastic sometimes. But this is just, you know, I'm just looking at my available material for the project at hand. I just prefer to use what I've got. This is just something not really so to speak. There you go. That's a good grip. All right. And I really don't have much dimensions. Usually when I'm making these, this is probably a good example of what I do. What I do is I'll just touch whatever my OD is and go in about 20 thousandths. That way I have a pretty consistent looking little knurl. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a D&MG style tool and we're going to go right back here to about right there. And now this may turn a little longer. Because we're going to cut this off eventually. There. Now I have my handle set. We'll do some file work here before we cut off. Now all I got to do is just drill and tap this out to the size I need. I'm going to drill this with I'm going to drill this a little bit big. I'm going to go a little bit less thread. This is a 25/64 instead of the leather drill. Just a little bigger. We're going to Loctite this anyway, and it's 2 or 3% less of the threads, and it'll be a lot better deal. In there. This part, the reason why you didn't see a center drill, this part had already had a hole in the end. A piece of steel had a hole in the end. With some other material that I was working, something else I was doing. So, it's a good, nice, deep hole in there. Thread. Okay, now I've drilled this with a 25/64, which gives me just a little bit more room to work than the other. My center drill was wiggling just a little bit, so it's not going to be perfect. And with it being hung out this far, sometimes you have that. Since this is just a tool, I know we could have probably turned it down single point thread, and there's advantages to that, and I think everybody knows it, but truthfully it's just a lot easier to drill and tap, and in my opinion, just to drill and tap these things, a lot tighter screw in them. Then if you wire your screw out or anything like that in the future, you could just pull the screw out. So that's why I like to do it, especially something like this. Not a big deal. So we're just making, like I say, this is an imprecise, just basically a little tool handle. And I just prefer to make them this way. That's just my preference. Because it just makes it a little easier. I'm making 2 of these, by the way, and all these what they're for is to pull. We pull axles out of the race car. We have to pull them out to change gears, and it's just a lot easier if you have a tool to hold on, screw into the end of the axle, hold on hook. Now I've had one, and it's got misplaced. Oh, you know the drill. In fact, I may not even face this off. I'm probably taking it over to the belt sander and just knock the little booty off the end of it and be done with it. And then just machine me out the next one and be done with it. That's kind of what my plan is. So it's quick and dirty. This ain't going to be award-winning. This is going to be something in my box, and we pull axles. Throw them in. I'm going to make me a pair of them, so we just put them in each end and be done with it. Again, These are commercially available. A local company makes them or has them available. On these 9 inches, you just got the pull axle to take the center sections out. Alright, we'll just break that off. That insert kind of chunky a little bit, but we'll get it. Alright, let me just take the sander and knock that off. Alright, I started this, and I decided I'm just going to make this into a dang video itself, probably, instead of slop. This vise is not as good as my Harbor Freight. I ain't tried my Harbor Freight one out for a hacksaw stand yet. I put it out in the shop and haven't used it yet. So this is, by the way, just a hardware store bolt. I just whacked off with the hacksaw. Another one of my little favorite things to do when I cut these bolts off like this is just mount them in a drill cut. Spin them around like that on the belt sander a little bit. You got a built right in chamfer. Since I'm doing these out of steel, I'm going to blue them. And, you know, again, you've seen the product. I don't get paid for it, but I buy this myself off of Amazon. Usually is where I get it. I've uncoated the other one. Usually you have to put about 2 or 3 coats on them, and you know, it'll make a nice blackening, and we'll have a nice tool. These will be thrown in my racing box, or so to speak, and we have to, this way you screw them in each one of the axles and pull them out. You ain't got to run from one side of the car to the other. So, and I made them out of steel this time. And also you get to see how my knurling tool's working, so that's good. And it done a really good job, and I power fed the knurls, which is something I have never done. And that all worked out real good for me. I'm still working on my cutoff tools. I think off the first part I was running a little bit slow. I realigned everything and all, so that should be good. We'll put 2 coats of this on there. I won't bore you with the second one, but kind of that's what you do. You just rub it on there like this. And take your cloth or rag or something. See how that's already darkening up there. This one here, I went ahead and faced them off in the lathe, but still just a little bit of sanding on that, but that'll be fine. You know, these are working tools. They're not showpieces, so to speak. See how already it looks? Put the second coat on it. See, this is why I like using the paste, and I also like using the brush. See, I can take this little brush right here. I've used this brush a bit, and I get done. Whoa! Excuse me. Dropped it. But I'll spray a little bit of that super clean there on it and clean my brush out and blow out the excess, and I'll just keep reusing the brush for these little bluing jobs. So it's really a good product there. Trying it out, so give you some reports on the super clean here eventually. Alright, let me finish wiping this oven off and bluing it and cleaning them, and I'll bring you back. Okay, I cleaned this up. I kind of left my camera running. I used some of this super clean on it. This is a good product. This in this can's a foam product, and they say it's good like to use sort of like a brake cleaner. So you see me use a lot of brake cleaner. You just basically, I'm gonna spray this one, clean it up for you. Just shoot a little on it like that and let it sort of foam on there, and you can handle it with your hands and stuff. So it's pretty friendly to your hands and not causing you any heartburn or anything like that. And I'm trying it out, and I'm gonna tell you, you know, they sent it to me sent me a can of it and t-shirts and want me to use it on video. And I'm just sort of giving it a good try out. This kind of stuff I use it for. Let me get you over here in the frame. There you go. So there's the tool, and we'll sit down and have a little talk. Okay, I really enjoyed your visit with me today. Thanks for stopping by. Really, YouTube for me has always been sharing. And I've gotten used to having you looking over my shoulder, sort of strange as I said, not to have you there. So I hope you enjoyed what I made and how I made it. So I've already made one of these tools, but like I said in the opening, the pears is really good. I hope you're not too offended by my little product placement. The Super Clean people reached out to me a while back. They seem to be doing a lot of social media marketing and wanted me to try some of their product. They sent me a spray bottle and a spray can of Super Clean and a t-shirt and a hat. If that's selling out, folks, I apologize, but you're going to be seeing us use the product in videos along. This particular one was a really good degreaser, by the way, and so far I'm impressed with the product. So, with all that being said, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you come back for more and real world stuff we do here. Again, this isn't a precision product that has to have close tolerances. Basically, we just hit it with the scale and move on. This is just a little something that just makes your life better as in life. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Stop by and visit us pretty often. We're always up to something. And if you want to, please ding the bell to subscribe. Hey, we like to grow. We've grown, but we've kind of hit a stalemate. Hopefully, with some of these folks abandoning some of the platforms, the other guys can stick on YouTube and watch us. So, I hope you enjoyed my video today. Have a great day. We'll see you in the next video.